Okay, so this is a short video sharing a movement that I really enjoy, best to warm up first. So I've already been practicing for about 30 minutes before I started. And you can see I'm kind of warming up warrior triangle, warrior triangle, and switching to the other side. And I'm really conscious, my hands are fingertips on the pelvis, thumbs on the rib cage. So I'm really sure that I'm keeping my core square. Because anytime you're picking up kettlebells, you want to work, anytime you're picking up weights, really, you want to work with a neutral spine unless there's a specific reason not to. So I'm very consciously keeping it neutral. I've picked up my kettlebell. This is an 8 kg kettlebell. It's not that heavy. It's heavy enough when it's overhead. But as I play with this triangle, I'm going to point out that the knee I'm folding over my right leg, the knee is slightly bent. Which is a really good idea, especially if you're hypermobile, if your knees double back, which mine do. It's actually much more challenging and safer for the knee to keep it just a hair off of deadlocked out straight. It's going to be a lot less tension on the ligaments. The feedback of doing triangle with a kettlebell, and I'm doing reps here, mindful of my neutral core, that pressing up overhead just gives you so much activation. I'm staying in the bottom of the movement for an extra couple breaths before I switch sides, clean it to center, switch my feet, and switch the grip to the other side. You'll notice as well, once the bell is overhead, I'm always keeping my eyes on it, so I never look away from a kettlebell once it's parked up overhead. And that's really good focus as well, because that upward rotation of the head, looking at the ceiling, keep the eyes locked on the bell, it keeps that upward focus through the spine. The body follows the eyes, so if you look down, you'll tend to round. And I'm only venturing down as far as I can really strictly keep my spine straight. So I could probably put my fingers on the floor, but I'd round. And even just slight rounding, when you're holding the body laterally like that and you're pressing 8 kg over your head, you really don't want to round. So I'm being meticulous about alignment rather than trying to hit the floor necessarily. Empty-handed, if you're just doing yoga, you can get away with those little fudges in alignment, but you can't when you're balancing a weight overhead. So that's the first variation. I would definitely start with a smaller weight at first. Now, here's the more advanced variation. I've decided to pick up 10 kg, which for me is fine, stabilized overhead. It takes a lot of shoulder awareness. And then notice the little black one by my foot. That one is 6 kg. And now I'm going to set up the same pose. I'm going to set up my triangle. I'm making sure that there's a wee little micro bend in that right knee. I'm spotting my thumbs on my rib cage, fingers on my pelvis, make sure I'm neutral. And now my bottom hand is searching for that bell. I'm not going to look down because I'm holding 10 kg overhead. And then as I drive up, I have the bell and I'm really compressing my breath. So you can hear that exhale squeeze at the top. I'm punching up through the bell the whole time, keeping that upward focus, keeping the eyes overhead, and I can just feel that little 6 kg kettlebell sliding down towards the floor, and then just letting it kind of passive hang. It's giving me something else to multitask. It's giving me extra weight to carry, and I don't have to carry it overhead. So if I had all 16 kg overhead, that would be very challenging. I'm sure that would do more harm than good. But this is a way of having to manage 16 kg without it all being parked overhead. I'm going to mindfully switch. I'm going to bring the little black one inside my left foot, externally rotate my left leg. I'm going to pick up the 10 kg, clean it to my chest first, stabilize my core, press it overhead, and then start to fold over the other side. My eyes are staying on that kettlebell. As I creep down, my fingers are looking for the bell. I'm not going to look down. I'm going to keep my eye on that bell perched overhead. And sliding down, controlling, really thinking about my hip socket. Exhale, squeeze at the top, everything locks out. Slowly working my way down. Drive, stop the feet, exhale, squeeze everything at the top. And I'm leading the action back up. You can't really see it, but it's like I'm trying to glue that upward kettlebell up to the ceiling. I'm punching up It's picking my whole body up as I push through the floor. So this is a really fun movement. It's very challenging. I would go much lighter at first. Your hip flexors are really going to know about it. Obliques are really going to know about it. It's also a lovely stretch with a lot of eccentric work going on in the hamstrings and the adductors. Definitely one for those of us that do both yoga and kettlebells. And anytime I do something really strong and locked out and neutral, I always like to take a little wiggly moment afterwards. So yeah, play with that. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.